I just think it was just a freak accident. Yeah. And I'm not going to say it was bound to happen, but I think it was bound for Mahomes to miss some time with the injury, with a injury, not the ACL injury, but a injury with the amount of hits that he's been taking, and especially the amount of running that he has to do for the lack of run game that they have. His run, though, like 3 Super Bowls, 5 appearances. I mean, hey, you can't say nothing bad about Mahomes. Mahomes did everything that he did. He owned this era.
Yeah, he did.
It's just unfortunate that it's about to be the start of a new.
The Packers were like on the doorstep of a Super Bowl run. And I'm not saying their Super Bowl window is closed, but you don't make that trade to fix probably the biggest weakness of your defense by getting Micah Parsons and expecting not to make a trip to the Super Bowl. So losing your best pass rusher, it sucks because now it's been, especially with the ACL, if that gets affected, then that whole contract of him being the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history could be seen as a potentially bad, risky deal because you're not going to get the same level of production.
Very devastating weekend for NFL fans if you were a fan of the guys we're going to talk about. Devontae Adams, Micah Parsons, but the one and only Patrick Mahomes is the topic of conversation for everybody. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL this Sunday against Amari's Los Angeles Chargers as the Chargers defeated the Chiefs 16-13. Big Versi, Sandman, Jesse, man, that I think as NFL fans, we're kind of all like shocked of the reality that the Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. Charles, I know this is a little more personal for you because, you know, obviously your history with ACL, so I know it hit a little different for you. And Sandman, I know probably hit a little different for you, even though your team won. Nobody wanted to see Mahomes go out like that, but Big Verse, what is your initial reaction to seeing Mahomes go down with a season-ending injury?
I knew it was bad the second I seen that knee go left when his whole body went right. Like any type of sudden movement to that extent is just always bad news on the knee because it just adds a whole bunch of stress. It's a real possibility that he might not make it till past September, October. That's an 8-month healing process, and that's after you start surgery. He's obviously gonna get a second opinion about what he wants to do, but the sooner he gets that process started, the sooner he'll get back to starting his rehab and doing everything he's doing. As for the outlook of the Chiefs, the current Chiefs dynasty that we come to love or come to expect is over. I don't want to say it's over completely, but just this iteration of it, we're not going to see these guys return the same way. Travis is likely gone. This is probably the last productive season we're going to get out of Chris Jones. And the Chiefs as a whole, Mahomes kind of reminds me in a lot of ways of what Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady were able to do. They cover a lot of flaws that team has internally. The running game has been abysmal. The passing game, the receiving core, they just don't have enough. They just rebuilt the O-line, but the O-line just get constantly banged up with injuries, and the defense wasn't as shut down and dominant as we've seen in years past. So it was really on Mahomes to take them all the way. It just so happens that he's playing fairly well over the past few months, but it just hasn't been enough so the Chiefs can win these close games. And now they're dead in the water because they're officially out of the playoffs. And not only that, but even with nothing to play for, they still find a way to have a nightmare scenario of Mahomes getting hurt. So prayers up to him for sure. He'll bounce back better than ever, most definitely. But it's going to definitely be weird seeing a playoffs without a Chiefs squad, a Mahomes-led team fighting for that Lombardi.
I say for me, I'm kind of on both sides of the coin. I mean, on one side, you're extremely devastated. Obviously, we didn't want to see Mahomes go out like this. I think the trajectory of how the season was going prior to it, him losing all the close games with him still being able to play in the next game, that felt better for me. So at least I can say when the Texans beat it, we finally beat Mahomes because it was extremely rare that we beat Mahomes. We only beat Mahomes one time in our franchise history. So beating him, I guess essentially before he ended up tearing his ACL against you, Amari. I mean, I guess it was enough satisfaction for me to kind of view my team as, okay, we're serious contenders. But Mahomes, it was who? It's finally given the AFC a realistic opportunity to change the throne. And these past 2 years, we kind of been giving Mahomes the benefit of the doubt of being the best quarterback because of his resume, him winning Super Bowls. We know he can turn it up when it matters the most, but he hasn't really been the best quarterback these last couple of years. His deep ball accuracy has went down tremendously. Interceptions going up at a premium. I mean, obviously Travis Kelce is on the aging side, so he's only getting worse and worse. Xavier Worthy, the promising rookie year he had last year, he doesn't look the same at all. Rashee Rice, he doesn't look acclimated to 2024 Rashee Rice. He doesn't look the same at all. I mean, the Chiefs are just they need a rebuild. They need a rebuild. A little tweak. I wouldn't say a massive rebuild, but at least use this last 3 games to, if I'm them, tank. Try to at least get them within that top 10 pick. They're only 6-8. They're out of the playoffs 100%. So there's no reason for them to try to compete in these games. You're not winning nothing without Mahomes. The best case you can do is get a high pick and have him ready for at least when Mahomes come back, and if that's a lineman or that's a running back, because they need one or the other, and they need it bad. Even a tight end. Travis Kelce not going to be there no more, so I mean, shoot. You're going to need somebody else to be your security blanket, and Rashee Rice, I mean, it looked like he's seeing ghosts. I mean, last week was Petrie. This week, I mean, Mara, you could say it. Who lit him up?
Tony Jefferson. Tony Jefferson.
What they say, they having their way with Rashee Rice. Shoot.
Hey, boom!
They say karma is real. Karma is real. They say it may not get you when you think it will, but it's always coming around. That's all I got to say about Rashee Rice. But Mahomes, prayers up to you, man. You had a hell of a run. And it's unfortunate because I hate that everybody keep bringing up the Brady thing. They think it's a whole, like, Mahomes and sacrifice, got hurt, same
as Brady.
Yep, same ACL against the. Brady tore his ACL against the Chiefs. I'm just like, bro, like, stop. It wasn't no conspiracy theories with this whatsoever. I just think it was just a freak accident. Yeah. And I'm not gonna say it was bound to happen, but I think it was bound for Mahomes to miss some time with the injury, with a injury, not the ACL injury, but a injury with the amount of hits that he's been taking, and especially the amount of running that he has to do for the lack of run game that they have.
Yeah, I agree with you. He was dealing with knee soreness prior to the ACL injury, but the way that, like, when he came down, who was that had almost tackled him? I think it was Deshaun Hand. He had grabbed him and he, like, jumped out of the tackle, and he, like, landed wrong, and it, like you said, his body went right, his knee went left. It kind of went backwards. It kind of went backwards.
I thought he had to extend it at first.
Yeah, but once I seen it, I was like, ooh, that was bad. But, you know, prayers up to Mahomes, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, as a Chargers fan, yes, I'm glad the Chiefs, like, we shut them down, because just like y'all, we've only beat Mahomes once, and that was Herbert has only beat Mahomes once, and that was, of course, in Brazil. No, before the season, I think he had only beat him once. Yeah, he had only beat him once, and that was like in the 2022 season or something like that, or 21 season, one of those. But, you know what I'm saying, it's good that the Chiefs are out of the playoffs. I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying, we made that push and finally beat them at home, beat them at Arrowhead. That was cool. But for the Chiefs, yeah, I agree, man. I think it's time for a rebuild, not nothing crazy. For sure, invest in that running back position, add some more line. I think them getting off of Joe Tooney was like the worst decision they could have ever made, because their center that they have now is not that good. Jawan Taylor is not good. Like, those guys, like, they're not that good. Now, Josh Simmons, he has promise. He's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He's young, so, like, it'll take some time to develop him. But
you said they center?
Yeah.
You're talking about Creed Humphrey.
No, I'm tripping. Yeah. Not Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney, he was a guard. I'm tripping. My bad. But yeah, they're getting off of Creed Humphrey is still one of the best centers in the league. But getting off of Joe Tooney, I mean, that was a bad idea, man. That was terrible. And then you got Jawan Taylor in there. He's not blocking as good. He can't do what Joe Tooney can do. But invest in that O-line position and also that running back position. Like, you got old, what's the name? You got old Kareem Hunt back there. I mean, he's good for about maybe 4 yards. He can get you a little first down if you need it. Isaiah Pacheco don't look the same ever since he fractured his leg.
The Smith guy.
Yeah, Smith. You know what I'm saying? This is a good
guy.
Literally, but this is a good year to go ahead and go get that boy Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how hard they tank. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
His run though, like 3 Super Bowls, 5 appearances. I mean, hey, you can't say nothing bad about Mahomes. Mahomes did everything that he did. He owned this era.
Yeah, he did.
It's just unfortunate that it's about to be the start of a new.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So, on the subject of injuries, in your opinion, what injury has been the most devastating this NFL season?
Micah.
Other than Patrick Mahomes, sorry.
Micah. I'm not gonna lie. Patrick Mahomes sucks because of the fact that it's like, this is debatably one of the greatest players of all time. Like,
second best quarterback, debatably, of all time.
All time. But even if he weren't to get injured, like that game against y'all was handled pretty favorably. Obviously, he had the ball in his hands with the last possession, but
Nah, he was pushing us down the field too.
But the team, we obviously knew that even if they were to come back and beat y'all, this Chiefs team wasn't gonna do nothing for real. I mean, we've seen it time and time again this season alone that this isn't the same team of yore. Like, the offense isn't as sporadic. The defense has a lot of holes that need to be fixed, and it just seems like on a daily basis, whenever they play on Sundays, they just getting out-coached, outmatched, and outnumbered on that field. The Packers were like on the doorstep of a Super Bowl run. And I'm not saying their Super Bowl window is closed, but you don't make that trade to fix probably the biggest weakness of your defense, hell, of your team, by getting Micah Parsons and expecting not to make a trip to the Super Bowl, or at least make an attempt to push for that. So losing your best pass rusher with a defense that was already getting better and better by the week, it sucks because now his bend, especially with the ACL, for Mahomes, it's going to be different because he's a quarterback. He can rely on his pocket presence, his mobility a little bit just by evading the rush. That's all the defense knows is bend. You're using those knees for a reason, so that if that gets affected, then that whole contract of him being the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history could be seen as a potentially bad, risky deal because you're not going to get the same level of production. Is he going to get 12 sacks for the 6th straight time after this ACL tear? I don't know.
He might. I mean, like I always say this, medicine is different. Like, technology is different. Anything is possible. Like, you look back from 3 years ago, like, medicine had changed. ACL procedures have changed, everything. So
yeah, I agree.
Even from when you got hurt.
For sure.
It's gotten better like every year.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm not saying it's impossible. Yeah, I'm just saying from an edge rusher perspective, you don't got that same bend.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Like you when you turn that corner, it feels different because it takes forever to trust it. Plus, also too, for the Packers' perspective, they were able to lean on that defense to get them out of a lot of holes. Now everything's exclusively on Jordan Love, who already probably walked into the season with the most to prove, under the most pressure because of his large contract and because of the fact that they want him to follow in the footsteps of 2 legendary quarterbacks in Lambeau Field. So if he's not able to do what he was supposed to do off of the latest injury of Micah Parsons, then it's like, well, what avenues can the Packers take in order to get that elusive trophy that they're looking for?
Tyler, what was your most devastating injury other than Mahomes?
I mean, I guess graphic, but probably Tyreek Hill. I mean, that wasn't a pretty sight to see at all, especially him being on the other side of 30. You know, receivers automatically are going to regress. But I think he was relatively decent before he got injured. It's gonna be a rough viewing of seeing how Tyreek Hill is coming into next season, especially. You know, what did he tear? His ACL, his
the same thing as Tank Dell, just
everything
above 30.
Yeah, everything. He tore everything above 30, and he's a speedster. So I'm very interested to see how Tyreek Hill comes back next year, the type of receiver he is. And shoot, quite frankly, I thought that would have tanked the Miami Dolphins season, but shoot, it looked like it was a resurgence. And not to say he was the reason why they were losing. I'm not gonna say that at all. But Tyreek Hill, man, it's looking really shaky, especially his future in Miami. Hopefully he can bounce back. But I mean, that injury was extremely devastating to one of the biggest stars at the wide receiver position in the league.
Amari, you got a name for me?
Of a bad injury that just happened this season.
Yeah.
Which injury was most devastating to you?
Outside of Mahomes and of course Devontae Adams, especially how highly I just spoke of him. I said a guy that was looking promising was that boy Cam Scatterboo. I ain't gonna lie, that injury right there, that messed up. That was crazy. It was his ankle, but that was gruesome to see. But outside of that, Cam was having a very productive year, and I was telling you, I told you before he was getting drafted, I said that boy gonna be nice. I told you, and hey, I was right. But he was he was on pace. He was one of the rookies that had the most rushing yards in the league, bro. One of the top 5 rookies or whatever. But he was just looking promising, man. Him and that little dynamic with Dart, you know what I mean? It looked pretty promising out there from New York. So hopefully he can bounce back from that and come back the same way.